a lot of me. Here we go. What? Heart rate up. Man, I'll tell you. Today's been a great day, everyone. Welcome to the Boys Crypto Show. We are currently in a shorter Rooney, baby. A shorter Rooney after that massive run to the upside. My trading plan here moving forward. We did get that. Where this came beautifully, man. I can't get over this. Every single time I pull a fib, it feels like every single time I pull a fib, they just get respected. And you know, going off these levels. Hey, shout out to everybody. I'm glad that you guys are here. Where'd we go? Right to the 786. Does it not happen almost every time? It feels like. Does this not happen? Like, does this not happen? Like 9 times out of 10, we look at fibs on this channel. Baby, what is going on? Welcome. Shout out to you, Wanda and Michaela in the chat. Hey, what's going on? Welcome. Had to get the lady at the door. Of course, I had to put a little bit of a pause on the stream and get everything rolling. Everything's looking good. Audio good. Lighting good. Hosts good. Everything good. We are good and picture perfect. Ready to go, baby. Ready to go. I am super excited here for BTC. Here's what I'm looking at too with that 786. How did I know there was going to be some kind of reversal happening, or at least some kind of mean regression? Look at this. This is nasty. And you don't see bearish divergence this strong very, very often. On the 15-minute, look at this massive swing up while we have a swing down, a lower high being created on the 15-minute time frame. Looks very, very good to me for further downside action on Bitcoin, saying that we could potentially come down here and crack this 84.5 level before we go on to break this 86.5. We got in almost at the top there, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, so close to the top. We did not quite get there. I think, you know, being the weekend, I'm going to be disciplined here, and whenever we get to the 200 MA on the 1 minute time frame, if we do close a candle above the 1 minute time frame here on the 200 MA, I'm going to get out of this short. I'm just going to pay myself, and I'm going to reassess and see how things develop as the Asian markets open. Shout out to everyone here. Thank you for being here, but we are making money, baby. We are rolling. This account is absolutely booming. We are less than $200 away, $9,800 right here. What in the world? I don't know why my screen comes up like that. $9,800 from the goal of 10 G's, baby. $10,000 being won here. Not won, being skillfully obtained through our trading setups. Each and every trade that we made on this account was posted over on our X account at Boys Crypto 102. Feel free to hop on in and check it out. Even if you were just following along my plays and you had no idea what you were doing, which I do not recommend at all in any way, shape, or form. If you had no clue what you were doing, you would have doubled your account in the last 45 days, everybody, regardless of how much money you were using. What a monumental increase, baby. What a monumental increase. I got an alert here set for the 1 minute 200 MA, so there's going to be a very scary sounding alarm whenever we get above that blue line. I might move this here. I might have to move it. No, I don't. I might have to move it a little bit. Yeah, we'll add an alert there. Right, and that'll come up on Blowfin here for us. If you guys don't have Blowfin and you're interested in an exchange, you don't have one, feel free to check out my link in the description. But boom, baby, what a week. What a weekend. So how have our trades been going? I just want to dive into this here. Look. Hey, you have wins, you have losses, you have W's, and you have L's. Look at these. Look at this. Over the past few days, you know, a lot of these trades have gone bear. We haven't been trading as much. We've been trading with larger amounts, though, over the past few weeks, or over the past, where is it, since the 17th, right? Since the 17th. Yeah, this goes all the way back to the 17th. That was just 6 days ago. And we've made probably 12 trades since then. And we've been doing really, really well. We've been doing really, really well. The biggest one in that time period is the Ethereum trade that closed up 83.16% from where we got in. Shout out to everybody that is spending their time here with me on their Sunday night, getting ready for the week ahead. A huge week for crypto. A huge week for crypto as Bitcoin's battling that 200-day moving average, but we are absolutely screaming to the upside, also in profit on this short, which will add to another juicy trade here for the account. But here we go, Bitcoin, baby, on the micro time frame. Shout out to all my micro friends out there. We have a massive swing up in price action right now, while we have a swing down on the RSI. Bear div warning to all the bulls, and with a bear div that's this strong, I know a lot of longs got trapped up here and got absolutely dumped on, and it is likely we come down here to this 84.5 84.05 level. I think it's likely throughout the night that we retrace about that $84,000 level. Why? Well, on Friday, that's where we closed. So on Friday, let's pull up the daily here. Let's pull up the daily for BTC, baby. The daily for BTC. We had our candle body closure. This is Sunday, Saturday. Here we go. Friday. This is our CME. Let's clear up some of this. This is our CME gap right here at $8,400. It is very, very likely this week that this level gets tapped. I don't know when it's going to happen. It's highly likely going to happen whenever whenever the U.S. stock market opens, when the most amount of volume enters the market. When we left off on Friday, the institution said this is fair value at about 84,173. I think it's very, very likely. And in history's past, almost every single CME that gets formed over the weekend gets filled the next week. So I'm looking at that as an immaculate opportunity here for us to get Bitcoin at some juicy prices, perhaps on a wick. What I would love to see, wouldn't it look beautiful if this candle closed like this? If you had a candle body closure like this, you had us come up to where we are. I am so bad at drawing on this thing. And we had a massive wick down to do this. We had a massive wick down. A massive wick down to the CME. Wow, TradingView does not want to work with me. You can't even go there. You can't even go there on the smaller time frames. But yeah, wouldn't it look great if we had a daily candle closure that was a reversal doji? Looks good to me. And a wick down to close that CME, that would give a lot of traders confidence. A lot of traders back this up. A lot of traders back up the $84,000 level just simply because of that CME gap. And they have formed, there's only been about 2 to 3 of them in Bitcoin's history that have not been filled. Could this be one? Absolutely. But right now, we couldn't have gotten a better candle close yesterday. A bullish engulfing candle. Look at that beautiful candle over the 200 MA. I have to be a bull for Bitcoin here. I'm a bull, baby, bull. Above the 200 MA, I'm a bull. Below the 200 MA, I have to be a bear. That was a monstrous move for Bitcoin here. Going in on the 4 hour, we are seeing some consolidation as that 200 MA comes down for a test that we have not had since, yes, up here at about $100,000. We haven't seen the 4 hour 200 SMA since about $100,000. And what I'm seeing here on the macro, and this will break this week, I am seeing a trend line here form. I am seeing a trend line. It looks very good. We have a pretty clear support line. We've had 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touches, 4 touches, and then to the upside, whereas on the way down, we've had 1 touch. I really like this. I think this is likely to break. You could argue that it's breaking and retesting right now. I think that's very valid. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, but that 200 MA and this cluster of high volume nodes is not going to be no small feat for us to get through, Trying to monitor this trade here as well on the side. We close above the daily 200 or the 1 minute 200 SMA. I'm going to be out of this Bitcoin position, but looking very, very good for Bitcoin. This flag, whether you draw it like this or like this, is going to break this week. It says it'll break by Wednesday at 8 o'clock in the morning. That's for me, that's 8 o'clock. Woo, 8 o'clock. Yeah, that'll be just before market open. Let's see if there's anything that's confluent with that on the U.S. economic news. U.S. economic calendar, baby, the hottest area to go for whenever you are looking at your market needs, You come on over here to the U.S. economic calendar, and we can see what big news drivers are going to happen during this upcoming week. I don't see anything Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday that I think are going to massively move the market. Perhaps consumer confidence. The last time we had consumer confidence, it came in lower than expected, and that could really, it caused like this massive dip and wick kind of price action. Very, very, almost impossible to trade. I wouldn't recommend having trades open at 10 o'clock on Tuesday, and that's in Eastern Standard Time as well. The big news drivers for this upcoming week are going to be Thursday and Friday. The events that are going to provide the maximum amount of liquidity in the market is going to be these initial jobless claims. And on Friday, we have personal income and personal spending. The jobless claims, unemployment, is something that the markets heavily weigh when they're looking at macroeconomic outlook. We also have GDP coming in. That's how much money that the country is netting, right? Is bringing in total. So that's really, really good to see. We'll see that coming up. That's going to be for Q4 of last year. So keep in mind, these numbers are going to, they're not going to implement all the tariffs and all the recent price action that we've seen recently. recently, it is a lagging indicator. But yet that data is going to come out for us. Personal income, personal spending. We're going to get a glimpse at the American consumer and see what people are thinking about when they're either holding cash or going out and spending freely. Are people conservative? Are people thinking that this is a good time to go out and buy the groceries, things of that nature? It's very important to look at month over month and personal income and personal spending coming our way on Friday, which is a lower liquidity day. So I am willing to put the dollar down that this is going to be the biggest move of this upcoming week on Friday. The lowest liquidity in the market, baby. The lowest liquidity in the market. That's what we're looking at for Friday for Bitcoin and markets abroad. Markets abroad. All the markets will move on the data that we get here from the United States and personal income and personal spending. Drop your alts, drop your questions in the chat. It is a little bit of a lighter stream, so you guys get these. You guys get this time one-on-one with me. Whatever you guys want to go over. Any questions? No, there are no dumb questions or anything. I've had a couple things on X where they're asking, "Oh, this is dumb, but I want to ask you." No question's a dumb question. Just ask your questions, and I'd be happy to go over anything that you guys want to. I am very, very excited that you guys are each individually here with me. I think I'm gonna kill this trade here, everybody. We get above that one, I'm killing it. 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 On Sunday night, you get about that 1 minute 200 SMA, you know what happens. You usually get a squeeze to the upside, and I'm not willing to play that game right here. Let's see, where's my target at? I want to limit out of this. Why do I want to limit out? Well, if I limit out, let's see. Let's see what the 200 MA does. So if you limit out of a position, you're going to pay less fees, right? You're going to play taker, vice, maker. And I like playing taker fees because it's only 0.1% compared to some maker fees are up to 0.3% of your entire position. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Hopefully we get this rejection from the 1 minute 200 SMA and we could take this back down to once we came. Let's move this back down to where we were, and we'll see how this develops. We got a little bit of an alert there, and these are 1 minute candles, so these will move very, very quickly, right? These will move very, very quickly. Unable to get above that 200 SMA as it stands, falling back in the pattern, looks very, very good. That's why I use the 200 MAs as shields, everybody. That's why I use them as shields, because once you break through one, it's likely that it's going to be resistance on the way up. Previous support turns future resistance, right? Support resistance flips. Very, very important to note. It doesn't just work with horizontal lines that you put on the chart here, right? It does not just work with horizontal lines. You could use these 200 MAs as key support resistance areas. Let's go back and look at the 4-hour 200 SMA, right? The 4-hour 200 SMA, support, came up, resistance. You know, we didn't quite reach it here, but you could argue resistance. Currently, we're about to touch it again. It's likely going to be resistance. We get above that, we're going to get a massive squeeze to the upside. Highly, highly likely. So whenever you're battling the 200 MA, you fall through resistance. You get above support. And then you fall below resistance. You get above support and boom to the upside. These are very, very key levels that Bitcoin is currently trading around that 4-hour 200 SMA and the daily 200 SMA. Macro 200s, everybody. Macro 200s. Very, very important to keep your eyes on here in the chart. What's my opinion on ETH this cycle? Love it from the UK. Hey, JJ, thanks for jumping on in, man. I greatly appreciate you being here. Ethereum. Let's pull up Ethereum. Ethereum, you know, you kind of read my mind a little bit, man. I just did a video that'll come out in about 12 hours on Ethereum, baby. Coming out around market open tomorrow. Ethereum. Listen, I think Ethereum is nearing a bottom, and here's why. And I'll zoom on out and I'll show you. I'll prove this to you. Here we go. We came down to the highest volume node in the chart. Let's zoom on out here on the daily. The highest volume node here in the chart, right, besides this one that we had down here at about 1600. I did have limit orders down here at 1600. We've been going in and out of Ethereum here on the smaller time frames, but this is an area where Ethereum is likely to bounce. This VRVP represents the area where the most amount of Ethereum has traded hands, when the market says this is fair value. We've already had that rocket moonshot, right? Developed some high volume nodes up here, but we are still trading in no man's land. We came down here to this high volume node here for Ethereum and got that bounce. Now, if you've watched the channel before, man, and I'm really grateful that you're here, these VRVPs serve as massive areas of gaps in liquidity. So once you use one as support, you're likely to bounce. It's like rolling a ball off the hill, man. You came over here, you got your ball to the top of the hill, and it's likely to roll down and come up to the next trough. Roll down, come up to the next trough. The next high volume node sits up here at about $3,300. If we're zooming on out, it's going to update based off of what we're actually looking at for Ethereum, right? But you see this massive gap in the VRVP, baby. This massive gap in the VRVP. It's like if a lady had a thigh gap like that, she'd stand up on her hands as a field goal post. You could kick a truck through, baby. That is something to pay attention to for Ethereum. Not just that. So we came down to the high volume node. We have lack of volume above us, which means that this move down was likely triggered by stop losses and liquidations, not just selling in Ethereum. Despite how everybody's super bearish on the asset, it's important to note. Okay, here we go. And I know what you're hearing on X, man. I highly recommend whenever you're looking at X or on Twitter or whatever, when people aren't talking about charts and just spitting opinions out there at you based off of all fundamentals or anything, you could argue fundamental all day long. Most of these assets are going to follow Bitcoin. Yes, Ethereum has been weak, but I think there could be a major bounce to this asset. Here's another reason. We have massive bullish divergence here forming on the daily, formed and confirmed on the daily, a higher low on the daily RSI while we have a lower low here in price. This suggests Ethereum, regardless of all this chop that we're seeing in here, is going to break this 2558 level before we break that 1760 level. So we have support from a high volume node. We have bullish divergence on the daily, and if you've ever stared bullish divergence on the daily in the face and haven't been wrecked, I would be surprised. Bullish divergence on the daily is one of the most powerful indicators that you can listen to. Thank you for bringing Ethereum to our attention, man. And yeah, I have a more in-depth video coming out this morning on Ethereum. I'm calling the bounce for Ethereum here, the bounce for Ethereum to the upside. We also, I was looking at this, we also had a macro 886 retrace that we have not had since Ethereum was back at these prices in 2023. You take your Fibonacci extension tool or your retracement tool from the swing low, the initial reaction down there, to the swing high, and we came down perfectly to the 886 and got the reaction. That's exactly where that high volume node is. That confluence right there looks very good for a reversal to the upside for Ethereum. Ethereum looking to make a move. These are areas of massive interest when big institutions are looking to get in. These are the prices that they're getting in at, and once the price reverses, all the public and everybody who's already sold out of their Ethereum will be freaking out, getting back in up here, and at about $3,000. It's going up to $4,000. It's going up to $4,000. That's how the public thinks. That's how retail thinks, right? When all the institutions got down in here at some of the juiciest prices for Ethereum, they will make almost a 100% gain on their investment by the time that we get back up to where retail is likely to get back in. We are below the daily 200 MA. I can't ignore that too. I do acknowledge the risk that we are below the daily 200 MA. If we lose these high volume nodes here for Ethereum, the gap downs are pretty severe. I am going to put that bearishness on your radar, right? Not bearishness. I think there's going to be a reversal here, but these are the last line in the sand levels, if you will. You have these high volume nodes here, and if you fail to hold at these levels here at about, between 16 and 1800, you're likely coming down to test these lows at least at about $1,000. Below that to me would be, I don't want to say the death of Ethereum, but it's likely. It's likely. I'm going to get out of this trade here. We closed the candle above the 200. So yeah, that's not something that I would take lightly, man. It just isn't. Hey, thank you for bringing Ethereum to our attention here. The 886 retrace looks really good for a bounce. We have daily bullish divergence and bouncing off a high volume node. It looks good to me, man. It looks good to me. We have been trading Ethereum in the long direction. We have not been shorting Ethereum. We've been longing Ethereum on the smaller time frames. But you're losing some key levels here on the weekly. I would keep these levels on your radar here. These lows, and looking at it from a macro perspective, I mean, yeah, there is bearishness for Ethereum right now. You could argue that you made your first lower low, but even if say you're totally bearish on Ethereum, you're like, oh my gosh, this asset's horrible, I hate it, it's going to zero. Would it make sense for Ethereum just to nuke like this? No, it wouldn't. What would happen? Well, we've just had that change of market structure. We did make the first lower low right here. So what's next for Ethereum? The next likely zone for Ethereum to reject from, if you are bearish, is going to be this bearish golden pocket. pocket from the swing high to the new lower low. You're looking at that new lower high to come in, and there will be shorts that open up here. There's a lot of people tracking this, even the whales, and it corresponds perfectly with that high volume node up here at about $3,300 to $3,400. That's so crazy too. Isn't that just when everybody else is going to start getting bullish? This is where I would take some caution. I'm not saying it's going to reject from here. I think the odds of rejecting here are relatively high. Since we just did put in our first lower low, you have to assume that the next move in the market structure is going to be a lower high, and it's likely to come in at this bearish golden pocket at the 618786. And when everybody else is going long, everybody long, oh my gosh, we're going to be looking to short Ethereum out of this, out of a great risk to reward ratio. Because the risk to reward, why am I going to look to short here? Well, the risk to reward ratio would be crazy. Out of 786, you get in at 786. I'll put my stop real tight, and I'll ride it back down for a new lower low. These are 20, 30, 40 to 1 setups that you could get on these trade ideas, and you only need to win 2 of them to be a profitable trader. You could lose 38 times. You could on 40 to 1 setups, you could lose 38 times and still be a monumentally profitable trader. And we're not looking to win 2 times, baby. We're looking to win every single time. That's what we've been doing here on the Boys Crypto channel. Absolutely milking this. We just closed out of that trade. Hey, a little scalperoonie, $34. Oh, that went a little higher than I expected. But hey, it is what it is. We got about the 1 minute 200 SMA, and I'll be watching this throughout the night. But we've been doing absolutely great on this channel, just absolutely milking the market for gains, baby. Shout out to everybody who just jumped on in here. Sin Nasty Kid, I saw your name pop up, man. What's going on? What's going on? Auction, baby, auction. Hey, we cautioned everyone on auction. JJ, thank you, man. Thank you. Hey, yeah, the new video, man. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Bullish on Boys last night in the comments. Hey, I appreciate you here, man. I appreciate you. Hey, I appreciate that comment too. I think I did respond. I definitely responded to that. Hey, thank you. Sin Nasty Kid. Bounce. Yes, we were screaming here on the live on auction to be careful. And lo and behold, everybody, you could look back in the stream and look at what this candle looked like here on this is disgusting. Look, we talked about a 786 retracement. Did we get it? Let's see. We'll pull out the Fibonacci extension from the swing low to the swing high. And look where we came to, ladies and gentlemen. Look where we came to on everybody who's been here on the live. We were calling this from the high. We were calling this from the exact top. We said, wait, we'll pull a fib, and the 786 will be a good area that I think will be a likely zone for auction to continue to move to the upside. You are also getting a little bit of hidden bullish divergence here while you're swinging across on the RSI, but you're making a higher low here, a higher low for auction. That does look good. This is a likely area to retrace, and we don't chase green candles on this channel. We'll wait for consolidation and then look for another leg up, but we're not going to chase 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not going to chase all these green candles to the upside. Why? Because the downside risk. Let this be a learning opportunity to every single person on the Boys Crypto community, myself included. Let this be a reminder. Take a mental picture of these 2 gigantic red daily candles, and remember that there were people who got in at the top and lost 70% of their investment in less than 48 hours. Let that be a lesson to us all. In chasing green candles, this is exactly what happens, and all the hype goes crazy. It was number 1 trend. It was really high trending. It wasn't, maybe not number 1. It was like number 4 or 5 trending on X, which was crazy. Yeah, all that hype and everybody hopium. I guarantee you 90% of the people that are in this project don't even know what it does. I don't even know what it does. I just know how the charts work and how the charts play out. Sin Nasty Kid, thank you, man. Sin Nasty Kid was talking about this down here when we got above the 200 MA on the daily, and a rocket shot on the way up to the upside, about a 3 to 4x gain since then in a matter of 2 weeks. Shout out to you, man. Well done. And even if you got in when it was first brought up on the channel, you are still in monumental gains. Are you not in great gains? 42%. Would anybody be upset with 42% in 2 weeks? Can you find that in the stock market? No, except at the downside for Tesla, right? Like, it's crazy. So it's just a matter of perspective. When you're looking at trading, when you're looking at prices, I know it's incredibly tempting to FOMO for people. It is. I get it. I've been there. I've done that. I've gotten absolutely stopped and wrecked by these big red candles here, and that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here on this channel to teach you guys the lessons that I have learned through years of getting absolutely bent over by this market, and now I've learned to take advantage of it. I understand how these charts work. I've learned to pull my fibs. I understand bear div. I understand when to get out of trades, when to cut them off. I understand when to get in. I understand reversal potentials. This was a 786 that we've been calling for bounce token, baby. And even if you wanted to short from the upside, which I wouldn't have recommended doing because this was on an unstoppable train, but to the 786, almost to the dollar. Oh my, that was an immaculate call for auction here. And hey, we weren't in any trades with this, but the 786, it cooks everybody over and over and over and over again. And even as your charts go around, just continue to pull your fib. You get a moonshot like this, you pull your fib, you take it from the swing low, the last swing low that you see, and you drag it up. I don't care how high the asset goes. Say it goes up here to $100. Say it goes up here to $100, or 130. Where's it likely to come in? At this 786, it doesn't matter. Most assets love to retrace to that golden pocket 618, 786 area, and a higher risk up here to the 618 bounce, but you can catch it. And the 786, you're going to miss a lot because the 618 is going to get respected. You're going to miss a lot. But the highest risk to reward that you can take are going to be down here at this 786 area. What a beautiful 786 retracement for bounce token. Let this be a lesson and a reminder to us all to not chase green candles, baby. It happens so often in this space, and it's the number one reason why people get absolutely bent over the barrel and shown the 50 states. Shout out to the horrible bosses, everybody. Drop your questions, drop your alts in the chat. We're gonna dive in. We're gonna dive in tonight. Thank you for being here on your Sunday night. Oh yeah, baby, pie, absolutely, pie. Send it to the moon. Yeah, let's pull it up, man. We haven't looked at pie in a minute. Pie, I know it's getting beat down on the bubbles. I think it's one of the bigger losers today. Yeah, it is. Trading below $1. Ouch for Pie. So, Pie Network. I did release a video on Pie, and it's been getting absolutely demolished. One of the higher risk trades, right? One of the higher risk setups for Pie, right? One of the higher risk plays. It did reach all the way up to that number 11 on coin market cap. Wow, what a move for Pie. Okay, so here we go. Look. Here, we were looking at speculating on a 786 retracement. Were we not? From the swing low to the swing high? That's where I would have been looking to get into a long right around this area. It did not hold up. Fell to 886, got a retracement. And now you're falling below back to that level. I can't, to me, there's nothing that you're trading below the highest volume node. To me, man, I can't touch this right now. I can't. I really can't. You're below the highest volume node. The 21's holding you down on the 4 hour. You're violating 786. And unless you double bottom here, off the 886, it's looking dangerous for Pie. And you could go, even though these assets have never been to these low prices before, they can go on price discovery to the downside. Look at Jupiter, everybody. Jupiter, one of my favorite assets in the game, doing the same thing. Price discovery to the downside. It never traded at 50 cents before, and now coming down, it dipped below 50 cents at one point. Maybe on its inception it did, but that's the hottest exchange in the game. If you guys are exchanging coins on Solana, Jupiter's the way to do it, baby. You get qualified for the airdrop at the end of the year. But Pie, baby. Pie. Yeah, so what would I be looking for here? I'd be looking for a divergence to rear its head. And we're looking on the 4 hour here. We're not looking on the daily because the daily is such limited information for us. Look at these the RSI, the stochastics are pinned. There's such limited information. I think even going on the 2 hour would be acceptable here for Pie. Let's zoom on in here. So we got the 886. We got the 886 retrace. And you did get the bounce. So once you get a bounce, what I would have loved to see for Pie is a higher high come in here, that wick or a candle come up and close there and then retrace, because then we would have been looking at a very, very juicy cup and handle scenario. You could say, hey, we could be doing the cup and handle right now, but your handle's already fallen below the 786. I would have loved to see that higher high be formed in, because right now you're putting a lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. You're still putting in a lower low here. You need to see some kind of higher low form here on the smaller time frames. And if you do get a little bit further of a dip, look how high up this RSI is trending right now. It would set up for a very nice, because the RSI would continue to trend down as price did. It would set up a very nice bullish divergence. That's what I would be looking for if you're speculating on a long for a Pie. I would definitely not short this asset. I'll tell you that. To me, and this is not financial advice again on this channel, to me, shorting this asset, something that's fallen to the 886, the last line in the sand, is one of the riskiest things you could do in crypto. Because once the bounce happened, look at this. When you got the bounce off that 886, we were here before. We were under these prices before 2 days. 2 days, and Pi absolutely melted faces with a 33% pump that liquidated everybody who got in on 3x or greater in the past 4 days in this region. So I just wouldn't be shorting here. I couldn't justify it, but I also wouldn't be longing either. I'd be waiting. I'd be sitting on my hands for this asset, man. I really would. It's definitely tough to call right now, and there's such limited price data here. I would wait. I would wait on Pi. I have to. That's what I'm calling as a trader. I know when the strongest points in the market are. I know when the highest probability reversals are, and to me, there's nothing showing me here on Pi that it's ready for reversal. Could it? Yeah, absolutely. But it'll ride without me, man. I'm waiting for some kind of divergence to rear its head here. You're below almost every 200 MA. You're below the 15 or you're above the 5. No, you're not above the 5, the 3, or the 1. If you're looking for a long here, you could speculate on a higher leverage position whenever you get above. You're sitting above this high volume though. We're looking at the 1 minute time frame. This is why it's such high risk. You're looking at the 1 minute time frame. Look at that gap in the VRVP. Looks really good to me for another 2% move to the upside, which is actually, you know, you're like, oh, it's 2%. That's absolutely nothing. But you're going to feel good about your entry down here when you're at 94. And then you're going to zoom out and be like, well, where's the next gap? Right here. You gap up, and then you're at 96, and your entry's at 92, baby. That's how 200 MA dominoes work. We knock on the 1, we're likely to come and test the 3, then we'll come and test the 5. And because of the severity of the dumpage of Pi network here, it is likely once you start cracking these 200 MAs, you'll gap up to the next one, which have been spaced out massively here on the charts just because of the severity of the dump. The harder something dumps, the further spaced out these 200 MAs go, and the squeeze potential to the upside increases. Hey, shout out to everybody who's jumping on in here. That's Pi network, man. I'd be sitting on my hands. That's what I'm looking at for Pi, baby. That's what I'm looking at for Pi. Hey, Sinasky, what's going on? Send it to the moon. That's Pi for you, baby. That's Pi. You were the whip nay nay and hey, Peanut, baby. Peanut. You want to look at Peanut? Absolutely. Peanut, the meme coin. Let's do it. You think auction will get a squeeze back to the upside? Nasty Kid, honestly, I think it is very likely. I think it's very likely. Imagine the fear everybody's feeling after getting out. A lot of that selling is panic selling. It has to be. It has to be. Panic selling, you don't lose 60% on an asset in 2 days, except for everyone hoping in and into the asset, hoping that auction's going to be the next Bitcoin, baby. That's just the reality, right? So going over here, we got above that 200 MA and we mooned to the upside. We got out of our trade down right here. You can see that little arrow and boom to the upside for Bitcoin. That's how we trade those 200 MAs, baby. We use them as shields, and we know that, hey, if one cracks, it is what it is. It is what it is. But here we are. We're looking at Peanut, baby. Peanut. I think a bounce for auction, Nasty Kid, is very, very likely here in the near term. You're coming down to a 786, and yeah, we'll take a look at bounce in a second. Let's look at Peanut, baby. Let's look at Peanut. I'll pull up bounce. I'll take a little look closer here in a minute. So Peanut, you know, and everybody knows who watches this channel how I feel about meme coins. I think these are gonna die this cycle. I do. With that being said, do I think there's not squeeze potential to the upside? No, I think there's a massive squeeze potential to the upside for these coins that have been beaten down. What? Look, could you go any lower for Peanut? Look at this. This is devastating. Right? Yeah, it had a massive blow off, and this is on perpetuals, right? There was price action before this, and Peanut went on an absolute moon mission. But here we go. If I'm reading the charts, when I read the charts, I try to close my eyes and be like, I don't even care. If I didn't have a name right here, I wouldn't even know what this asset is, but I could chart it for you. I don't need to know the name of an asset to feel whether I'm bullish or bearish. I just need to see the candlestick patterns, right? I just need to see the candlestick charts. The candlestick charts, now the charts will tell us all. Okay, so here we go for Peanut. We got a massive daily bullish divergence that did kick us out of here on the daily, right? We got that swing up. Well, we had that swing down. This is why you don't stare bullish divergence in the face and say, oh, we're going lower. That was the best entry for Peanut that you could have possibly gotten. And the next day, once this confirm, where did this actually confirm? You gotta move here. You did go a little lower, extrapolated that daily bullish divergence, and you had an 81% candle in a singular day. That's why it's so dangerous to short down here. But yes, you are getting a little bit of a turnaround here. I do acknowledge that. I'm seeing a kind of a W form. This is what I'm looking at. This W pattern looks to move to the upside for Peanut. Do I think Peanut's gonna go up and make all-time highs? No. I don't think any of these meme coins are ever gonna revive. I don't think they're gonna revive to their former glory. This hopium on this coin was based off of the news of that squirrel that got killed by a cop, but that's not happening anymore. So that traffic isn't on Twitter, on X, on Instagram, all those things that are pushing this coin to a lot of people. Chill guy not coming back, in my opinion, and I could be totally wrong. You know, fart coin could be the next Bitcoin, right? Like, who knows? Who knows? But listen, these meme coins are very, very, very highly volatile, and they're very, very risky. On a micro level, right? You did make a higher high, a higher low. You could say this was a lower high, but you made a higher low. So I would say higher high, higher low. You are looking to make that next higher high. And that is very, very promising here for Peanut out of this W. I really like what I'm seeing for Peanut. I think you can get the move to the upside, man. I really do. The squeeze potential for some of these meme coins is greater than that of a lot of other assets in the space. Why? Because of how badly they've been beaten down. Let's go to the 4 hour. Yeah, you got above the 4 hour 200 SMA with the golden cross here. That looks good. That looks good. For a squeeze to the upside for Peanut, you're going to be looking at these higher time frame 200s. You got above the 6. You got above the, man, you're getting above, you're coming to the 8 hour 200 SMA. You get above the 8 hour 200 SMA. Once you get above all 200 SMAs, it's to me the same thing as a blue skies breakout, because every moving average is in confluence with you. Besides your bearish 618, 786s and any kind of fibs that you can pull, that's a blue skies breakout to me. I don't care about price action besides the previous support and resistance levels and the bearish 618, 786s, but that's blue skies kind of territory. And for Peanut, something that's been beaten down since this badly, would the chart not look a little more organic if we did get a little more pop, one little pop here? These little pops are massive. These little pops on Peanut are massive. That's a 34% move. This is a 35% move. These little pops are very, very, very strong for Peanut and are only going to be amplified the further the price goes to the downside. Again, I don't recommend anybody putting their whole farm on Peanut or whatever, but a leverage position, it wouldn't be a bad, to me, it wouldn't be a bad idea. You convert this to support, you get a little bit of a reaction. You'd be looking at a solid leverage play with the stochastics agreeing with you, with the RSI agreeing with you. You have the high volume nodes underneath you. You could put a stop below this low and go 2-to-1. I'm a big 2-to-1 guy, guys. You guys know this. You even if you just entered here, and I'd be looking at the smaller time frames for a better entry. You made a higher high, a higher low. You're looking for the next higher high. But if this lower low breaks, if this higher low breaks, then that's a wash. So you could even go 2-to-1 on this. To the upside for Peanut, that's 2.5-to-1. Looks very good with the VRVP supporting you underneath. There's clearly buy pressure in here. It looks good for a squeeze to the upside with Peanut. But with that being said, I will say meme coins are the highest risk in the game. Highest risk in the game. That's what I'm looking at for Peanut, baby. For Peanut auction for Sin Nasty Kid. Let's dive on in. Michaela, thank you for saying that. I appreciate that. The like, comment, and subscribe. Smash that like button, everybody. It helps me get the algorithm get this, the stream out to a lot more people. We're looking at your coins. Then you hit the like button and it shows one other person your coin, and then they may want to invest in that coin or do something like that. Like, that could bring attention to your coin. It really can. And then they tell their friends, and then their friends that, I don't know, it's just how social media works, right? It's social media. Peanut is dead as the squirrel. Yeah, man, it's not looking good. With that being said, I do think there's definitely squeeze potential to the upside. It wouldn't make sense. You could argue that this entire move didn't make sense for Peanut because there was no substantial reaction to the upside. It would make sense. I wouldn't even be surprised, to see a 618, 786 retracement to the upside. You come on up here and hit that, 54-cent level and then drop further to the downside. Would that not look organic to you? Would that not look like an actual failed coin? Coming up here, testing the 618 and then down to the depths. Does that not look like it could definitely happen? To me, it does, but I think the meme coins are going to die this cycle. I really do. There's so much, and I don't speculate a lot, but somehow I always get driven to speculation. But after Libra, after Trump, after Melania coin, I don't even know if Yeezy came out, but all of those have been rug pulls on the entire American public. I think people are absolutely scared of meme coins, and I don't blame them. How many people have made money on a meme coin? Not many. Most people get in at the top before they get absolutely wrecked. There's a reason Coinbase lists them last, because Coinbase, being one of the largest exchanges, caters to the people who know the least amount about crypto. It's the reality. I use Coinbase, right? I do use Coinbase, but it does cater to the people who know the least amount of about crypto. So when new things come out, they're because of their regulatory standards, it takes them a while to get things on exchanges. It lists on Coinbase. There's been a lot of times where things have listed on Coinbase Coinbase and absolutely nuked because they a lot of the whales that got in early were able to sell. Why would they get in early? How did they get in early? Well, because on Coinbase you can buy assets with cash. When these assets come out, you need Solana or Jupiter, something. Melania and Trump and Libra, you need Solana, and some people don't even know it's Solana. How do I pay with something in Solana? That's how these meme coins come to fruition and then start dying, right? When the news starts fading, it's just something that I believe, man, and it could go to the moon. But I see squeeze. With that being said, as bearish as I am on meme coins, I am reading the charts as the charts. I'm being non-biased here and saying that a massive squeeze can come here for Peanut, and I bet if Peanut's looking like this, a lot of the other meme coins are as well. Getting ready for a squeeze as Bitcoin does make its recovery. I think it's very, very likely. Auction. Let's dive on into that for Sin Nasty Kid. Do I see a bounce coming for auction? So we did call the 618-786 retracement. We got down. Let's clear this up. We got down to that 618-786, not even the 618. We came down to the 786 and caught a healthy bounce. And it doesn't get more beautiful than that. I love everyone here on this channel, and this came down perfectly to the 786. And it respected this level beautifully. Yes. So when you get that higher high, let's zoom out here on the chart and see what we're working with. Yes, and that's because so you were making you could say this is a support resistance flip here, right? As this area has served as resistance, you got above, and now it's converted to support. That looks good, from a macro perspective. There's been a lot of pump and dumps on this thing, though. I will be honest. And I don't know what kind of news came out. Some news definitely came out. You don't just pump 400% for no reason, right? You don't pump 400% out of the blue, to the upside, 489% in the span of 2 weeks, and it just be like, oh, it just happened because it happened. No, there was some kind of stimulus, somebody dropped a rumor or something. I don't know what it is, but something stimulated this move, and this is the result of fear. Right? This is the result of fear, a 70% retracement for bounce to the downside, to the 786 perfectly. Do I see a bounce coming for bounce? Play on words. How does Peter Griffin do? Right? Yeah, so I can see a bounce here coming for auction. With that being said, look at that. On the 15, let's clear up some of this and look at this on the smaller time frames. So, yes, due to the severity, as we've said on all these other assets before, due to the severity of the dump, this is what I'd be looking at. You're at the 5-minute 200 SMA, are you not? You got above the 1. Now we're coming to the 3. You got above the 3. Now you're coming to the 5. You're at the 5. And you know what's beautiful about this, man? I do see a bounce coming for bounce token. You know what? I may actually long this. Going into what time is it? 10:16? I'm gonna set an alert here. I want to see it get a little high. I need to see a candle body close above the 5. Why am I looking for this, right? Why am I looking for this on bounce token? Well, I am seeing this. Look at you can't even see the 15 on the chart. You can't even see it. Where's the 7? The 7's above us. We're getting above the 5. I'm gonna take a little scalp long here on bounce. I'm gonna take a long. Let me see if I can trade it on here. Sin Nasty Kid, thank you, man. Hey, this is why I love you guys joining on in the chat. If I see something that I love, baby, I'm in. I'm in. What was that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I'm long here, baby. I'm going long. Let's see. Give me a second. Let me set this up. I'll go below the lows for auction. If we get this candle body closure above the 5, I'm in. I'm gonna go. Look at the squeeze potential. Let's see where the 15-minute 200 MA is. Yeah, that has Boys Crypto written all over it, does it not? Does it not? Oh, and you know what? I'll bet it would do this too. Let's do this. Let's see where this comes in confluence with. Oh, baby. Yes. Coming up there. That 618, baby, is all the way up at about $50. That's what the charts are saying. I'm not in yet. I'm not in. I want to see this 5-minute close above the 200 MA. All right? It's important. It's so important. You got about 1:49. You're sitting above a high volume node. That looks good. And you are, let's see on the higher time frames, you're getting any kind of div. You are on the 1 hour. You're not. 30. So on the 30, you got some massive bullish divergence here. The 30 says, we're likely, let's look at this here. So the 30, the bull div on the 30, notice how we have this swing up on the RSI. We had this swing up on the RSI on the 30-minute time frame. Not the strongest time frame, I will say. However, it is it's stronger than the 15, and you know, it's strong. It's not as strong as the 4-hour, but the 30 still has validity. That's what I'm trying to say. So the 30 says, hey, we're going to break this high before we break this low. That's what the 30-minute's saying. Man, and after a dump like that, with a retracement up to the upside, a little bit of a pop, a little bit of resurgence in the hopium, where everybody's like, whoa, it's going to moon again. Yeah, that's the kind. This is where that squeeze is likely to happen. You know what else is supporting this nasty kid? Look at that gap. Look at these. Oh, let's zoom out here. See what we're looking at. Woo! Woo! Yeah, so we're coming back down into the high volume node region. That gap up would take us to 26 pretty quickly. I wanna watch this 5-minute 200 SMA, man. I do. I'm gonna put an alert here on the 5. How do you put an alert on the 5-minute 200 SMA? Well, you click on the 200 SMA, right, or any of these assets, and you right click, and you can add an alert. So whenever you're here, you're gonna have crossing, right? And I want to see, crossing up on the 200 MA. And I want the moving average number 4, which is my 200, which is my 200 MA, right? Because if I put 1, it would be my 21, and then the other ones that I have hidden, my 50 and 100, are 2 and 3. So I'm going to take this to 4. I'm going to say once per bar close, or once per bar close. That's what I want to see. I want to see a bar close up with that 5-minute 200 SMA. That's going to be my. Hey, boys, crypto, it's time to go, baby. It's time to go, baby. That's what I'm looking at for bounce, baby. That's what I'm looking at for bounce. So we got that alert set here. We got that alert set here on, right here at the 5-minute 200 SMA. I like that, baby. I like that. We're going to wait. The alert will not proc unless we get a full candle body close above that level. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at, baby. Hey, thank you, Sin Nasty Kid. That's a potential trade of the night, man. I appreciate it. All right, diving on in, auction for a bounce. I'm setting it up for a trade scenario, man. Yes, I think it's going to bounce. We're about to put that money where the mouth is. About to put that money where the mouth is now. Yes, Peanut dead as a squirrel. Hey, April, thank you for jumping on in. Peanut just had another lawsuit filed yesterday. Not surprised, right? Not surprised on these meme coins that get humped. That get dumped on like that. Yeah, I don't know who created Peanut. I have no idea. But lawsuits are a big deal. Speaking of lawsuits, XRP just won theirs. That is pretty cool, didn't it? But yeah. Peanut, baby, Peanut. I don't know anything about the lawsuits or anything like that, but the charts are saying there could be a little bit of a squeeze to the upside for Peanut and auction, and for for a lot of the meme coins. I'm not saying auction's a meme coin, but for a lot of the coins, this is setting up as a really, really good squeeze opportunity to the upside, especially as Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin trading? Bitcoin's at 86.5. Look at that mooner to the upside. We got out, baby, at the top. This is where we entered our short. We got out down here, and now we're on our way to the upside again. That's why we do not mess around. That's why we do not mess around with the 1-minute 200 SMA. What happened when we got above the 1-minute 200 SMA? We got out, and then it moved to the upside. It boomed. It boomed, baby. You could have even switched it. You'd been like, oh, we're above the 200. Reverse the position to long, and then you would have been in the major money, baby. You would have been in the major money. But I'm going to see how the Asian market plays out here. I'm going to see how volume comes in throughout the night. I'm up all night, everybody. I sleep during the New York stock. I stay up for the New York Open. I watch those colossal candles, and then I'm like, all right, I'll see what happens throughout the day. Now, you'd be crazy. It's mind-blowing to see how stress-free your life gets when you're not worried about New York. You're like, yeah, because it's just absolute pandemonium during the market session. But that's what we're looking at for bounce. That's what we're looking at for Peanut. Shout out to you, Sin Nasty Kid. Thank you for dropping that in the chat. You're waiting on the 1 hour. The 1 hour to break. You spotted a G, spotted a grand, set up your stop loss. Yeah, the 1 hour. Let's see what the 1 hour looks like. 1 hour on auction, baby. 1 hour on auction. What do you mean break, man? You're talking about like you're talking about like a W breakout, something like that, something like this. Something like this. You could get that guy. I would have loved to see it like a shoulder, a head, and then a right shoulder to the upside. That would have looked really good, but this wick didn't come down far enough to validate that. But that's what I'm looking at, man. That's what I'm looking at. You do definitely have this area of resistance that you're approaching, and you got a pretty clear support line. You got a kind of upward sloping support line here. So that's what I'd be looking at for auction. Yeah, I'm gonna sit on my hands. I'm gonna wait for that alert to proc. If it does proc, right, this could trade right at the 200 MA, and we won't get that full candle body close above, and I just won't enter the trade. That's my go signal, everybody. That's my go signal. The stochastics on the 5 are a little cooked coming to the downside. You may get a little bit of a flag and then a push to the upside, and that's when our alert will hit. But that would likely be well after stream if that scenario did play out. But that's what I'm looking at for auction, baby. Drop your coins, drop your questions in the chat. Yeah, that W can play out, man. It definitely can. On the 1 hour, utilizing the wicks, even on the 30 minute, that may not even be a wick on the 30 minute. But yeah, W, boom, 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 boom. Looks good. It looks good, man. It could definitely play out. But to me, I need to wait. I need to wait and see. Yeah, if you're waiting for the confirmed break above this 1 hour and you get a candle body close, that's not something like this. This would be devastating for people. That caught people in the long. You wait for the candle body close. I think that's likely, man. Especially if you get above the 21. You get above the 21, the likelihood of coming to the 200 increases, and you have the squeeze potential to the upside. I think it looks good, man. I think it looks good. But wow, you don't often see this. You don't often see this. You know, that is a testimony to everyone. And you know, it didn't even take long. It took, how long did this take? This took 12 hours to drop 60%. What a monumental move to both the upside and the downside for bounce. At a 786 retrace, looks good to me, man. It looks good to me. I'm going to keep that on my radar. And stay up to date with me on X. I'll let you guys know everything that I do here on this Blowfin account. We've almost doubled this. We're $200 away from doubling this account in 40 days, everybody. Like that 5K to 10K challenge, about to be absolutely monumental. And we're going to keep going. We're going to turn this account into 100 grand. It's going to happen. And it's going to happen from $5,000. And you guys being early, you got to see what happened at the very, very beginning of this. Thank you all for being here and showing your support. You guys are absolutely immaculate. I greatly appreciate you. All right, diving on in. All right, we're up to date on chats. Let's take a look. Drop your chats, drop your questions, anything you guys want to go over. I'm here for you guys on this Sunday night. Let's look at Sui. Sui, something that's been popping off lately here. Something that we just averaged in on our box of remembrance the other day. Sui, baby, Sui. The Solana killer, they call it. The Solana killer. Is it can it take over Solana? Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But we're going to pull our Fibonacci here. This is an asset that I think has massive potential for the upcoming bull run. I really do. I think Sui can do some massive numbers. It does everything faster, cheaper, and better than Solana, in my opinion. Man, it's so weird drinking. I got to stop drinking Monsters, guys. When your pee starts coming out like silly string, whoo. It's not good. I'm going to have a kidney stone the size of a meatball. That's not what I want. It's going to be like a kinked fire hose where it like swells up. Oh, no thank you, baby. No thank you. That just gives me the... Yeah, no thank you. Sui, baby, Sui. Looking good to me on the daily besides being under that 200 MA. It isn't, you know, what's strange about Sui is it's not everything else that we've been showing having that bullish divergence. Sui does not have it. You're still swinging down. Granted, it's not as violent as price action has swung down, but you're still swinging down. Well, you have a slighter decrease. That is bullish divergence in my view, but it's not as strong as the other coins in the game. I wanted to look at this because this was something that I just saw people massively tweeting about today. It's just not as strong to me comparatively to what other coins in the game are looking to do right now off of the bullish divergence. The bullish divergence is saying this coin is not as strong. Just cautious. With that being said, we are trading above that high volume node. Let's let this update here. We're above that high volume node. The chance of a gap up. Yeah, we're above all the high volume nodes here. Zoom on out. We gotta let this update. When it doesn't update, you're like, You're coming down to an area where the volume nodes are starting to get higher and higher and higher and higher. Likely that there's going to be buy orders in this range. That is very true. Let's take a swing low to the swing high right here and see where we're coming down for Sui, down to the 618 from the beginning of the bull run. That this thing went on a monumental tear from 48 cents all the way up to 543, a 10x on Sui. What a massive run to the upside this colossal beast has had, down to the 618 with a little bit of bull div. It could definitely bounce here, but I'm looking to get above that 200 MA on the daily. I did average in here in our box of remembrance, the golden pocket. The box of remembrance, for those of you who haven't seen it, is the box that we drew here live on the channel when we were averaging into altcoins. And this box is going to stay here the entire time that this stream exists, which will be forever, everybody. I'm going to be doing this until I'm 80. You're going to be looking at, holy crap, how does Boys Crypto have, 20,000 videos? That's absolutely crazy. Yeah, that's what we're going to be looking for. The box of remembrance, when we zoom on out here, out of this golden pocket, this is the area to get in. I full-heartedly believe that this is the bottom for altcoins. And we're sitting up, if we go down, if we nuke to the abyss, we could be like, wow, Boys Crypto, look at that box of remembrance. Remember when you called that as the bottom? Yeah, well, when we're up here at $3 trillion, the Boys Crypto community is going to be loving their life. They're going to be loving their life. A 4x average gain for your random altcoin. That's what the total 3 chart says. Everything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum looks to monumentally move to the upside. And I think Bitcoin dominance is at the top. I think Bitcoin dominance is cooked. It's about to roll over. It's done on this 2-year monumental run. This thing is done. Out of the inverse cup and handle to the bearish 618786 retracement, a shooting star pattern with bear div on the daily, bear div on the weekly to the downside for the biggest alt season that we are in. The gap in the VRVP, the gap in the VRVP. Oh yeah, Bitcoin dominance is about ready to take a fall. When it's falling, it's going to be like R2D2. It's going to look like this. This is the alt season back in 2021. The colossal downward turn once Bitcoin dominance did top out. It only took 4 months for a colossal, what was it, 50%? Almost 50%, 45% drop in Bitcoin dominance. That's nothing compared to now. Why? Well, right now, Bitcoin is 3 times bigger than it was back in 2021 during that massive alt season, or twice as big. Or 3 times as big. Yeah, whatever 5th grade math, there is 2 to 3 times larger. So the alt season, especially if we're going to get this monumental drop out of the cup and handle, we're not only looking at from where we are, a 60% decrease on Bitcoin dominance according to the cup and handle target, the inverse cup and handle target, but the biggest alt season that we will have ever seen, because Bitcoin is twice as big, and you're looking at a 150% increase in downside from the last altcoin bull market, which corresponds here with this drop in Bitcoin dominance. To me, altcoins look primed to go. This gap in the VRVP supports this as well. You have 5 major indicators on high time frames that are saying this is it and this is over, and people are Bitcoin super cycle, this is it, it's going to the moon, it's going higher than it's ever been before, the strategic reserve, the charts don't agree until we break this 786, which is possible. I'm not saying that we could go into this. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know how to trade it, right? I don't know. Bitcoin could go to, $1 million tomorrow. I have no idea, right? But I do know how to trade certain setups. And this, I will never long this. I would never, ever long this. My life could depend on it. I would never long this. I couldn't. 2 years uptrend, rising wedge, inverse, cup and handle, the bearish 618786 gap in the VRVP daily, bearish weekly, bearish divergence, and people are like, Bitcoin super cycle. It drives me up the wall because they're ignoring these charts. They don't have a chart pulled up on their screen when they're saying it. It drives me nuts. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin dominance. I call alt season, baby. And I know a lot of people have been doing it, but I have the charts to back it up. I have the charts, the proof right here. And the proof is in the pudding. We got in on this moonshot to the upside for Bitcoin dominance. This box of remembrance can go lower. I'm not kidding. It can. Why? Because we haven't reached the 786 yet. That's why I left a little bit of space here to the downside, because if we do get that 786 pump to the upside for Bitcoin dominance, likely to come down to that 786 area that has not been tested yet on total 3 on the weekly, right? From the swing low, swing high to 786. We haven't touched it yet. We came close. We're in the golden pocket and we're out of it now. We're out of our box of remembrance. Bye-bye box of remembrance. We'll remember you when we're at $3 trillion on total 3, baby. It's coming. It's coming, baby. It's coming. Just a Boys Crypto prediction. And now we're pressing on, yes, the daily 200 SMA. Let's clear this up, make it a little nicer. We're pushing on the daily 200 SMA. Look at that giant thigh gap in the VRBP. I'm getting hyped, everybody. You guys almost made me stand up. I'm not streaming with pants on today. Look, you guys, look. We have a giant gap in the VRVP that says we're going to get a nasty squeeze up. We squeeze up here. We're looking at another 80 billion with a B like Boys Crypto, an $80 billion squeeze to the upside for crypto, baby. Looks good to me. Looks good. Everything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, I have to say, as I say all the time, we have to acknowledge that XRP is the strongest coin in the game. Without XRP, this would be down here about another 100 billion to about 720. Why? Because XRP has accumulated by itself about $100 billion in market cap since its monumental run before November. One of the only coins that has been hulling up. I'm not a super XRP bull or anything, but we have to acknowledge that that asset does have a major impact, the biggest impact on this chart, because it represents the biggest asset in the game in regards to this chart, right? Because it's number 3 or 4. It was up here on Coin Market Cap. Anytime you guys want to look at anything, Coin Market Cap, the place to go, baby. Oh, and look how fast this computer is, man. I just got a new setup yesterday. I had to go to Best Buy because my old dyno computer decided to, and it wasn't catching on fire, but it was close. It was making a loud sound. The fan was stopped. It was like, right? Like it was not doing good. It was like, if it was like going to the rodeo and riding that bull that's been doing rodeos for about 150 years, and he gets out there and one of his legs break. That was what I was riding on this stream. And now we got this new hot setup, the NVIDIA i7 core processor with the 2 terabyte mega data storage and everything. We got it all, baby. We got it all. I don't even know what some of these specs are, but the Best Buy guy did a great job of selling it to me. Okay, here we go. XRP, baby. Yeah, $142 billion market cap, much larger. You could argue that this was sitting at about what, 30 billion before the election. 30 billion, yeah, about 30 billion. So we have to acknowledge that about 120 or 110 billion of this total 3 is just in XRP, and XRP being the biggest asset in this class. Everything outside of Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? The number 4 cryptocurrency right now, just under Tether, and it likely will swap places with Tether here over the coming days. If we do get the pump for Bitcoin, it is looking good. It's looking good. And XRP, man, it's just showing some massive strength. It's actually pretty crazy. But yes, that's what I'm looking at for total 3, baby, to get above this 200 daily SMA and push to the upside out of this gap in the VRVP. It looks so good to me, everyone. It looks so good to me. Thank you for jumping on in. Everybody who just joined here, baby, we are in the charts on our Sunday night. Thank you for being here, getting ready for the week ahead where everybody's out there doing the whip nay at the club, or at the club. Everybody out there doing the whip nay at the club. Well, we're in the charts, baby, getting ready for the week ahead, getting ready to make some juicy gains like we've been doing all this past week, man. We've been absolutely crushing this market. Monumental. We've been crushing this market. Shout out to everybody who's been with me on X at Boys Crypto 102. Hop on in, baby. Hop on in. Hey, yeah, high 4K and everything. Yeah, new screen and everything. Really, it looks good. Thank you, man, for saying that. I appreciate it. Yeah, the last one, you know what the difference is too? The last one was curved. I don't know if that did something to distort anything, but the last one was a curved monitor. I don't know if that did anything different, but this is like a 1080. This is nice, man. It's nice. They did a good job of selling things that I probably didn't need to buy. Shh, don't tell the lady. Don't tell the lady, okay? But yes, we did have a little fun buying some new toys. Not the toys that you and I are interested in, Sin Nasty Kid, but the computer toys. You know what I'm saying? All right, diving on in, man. Diving on in. What's the indicator on the node on the side? Thank you for the question, JJ. I appreciate you, man. This on the side is called the VRVP, the Visible Range Volume Profile. You could type it in up here, VRVP, and you could click on it here, and it'll add it to your chart. Now, this looks disgusting. Let me get rid of mine. This looks disgusting. It looks gross, right? It's blocky. It doesn't make a lot of sense. You want to filter this down to the highest, like the best you can. So the row size, what I do is add an additional 4 here and hit enter, and it breaks it down and makes it look a lot crisper like this. And I can see the gaps a lot cleaner because the rows are a lot tighter, and it could show me more pinpoint accurate volume data. That's what I'm looking at for the VRVP, man. Thank you for the question. Yeah, any questions you have about my indicators, what I'm using, yeah, feel free to drop them in the chat. chat. Thank you, man. That's the VRVP for you. The VRVP, Visible Range Volume Profile. Ondo, baby. Ondo for Sid Nasty Kid. Let's dive on in, man. Hey, I appreciate it. I about typed your name. In the dang search bar for TradingView, dude. Ondo. Ondo, baby. Ondo. Yeah, Ondo, one of my favorite assets in the game. I really do think this is going to do monumental damage over this bull run. I really do. I firmly believe that. You know, Ondo has shown some severe weakness. So do the charts agree? You know, that this is going to the upside? I mean, you could pull it from here. You came down to the 886. And you do have that strong bullish divergence. That's a good thing to see on Ondo here. So you have a very strong bullish divergence. This is a lower market cap coin, about $1 billion in market cap. So the upside potential to me is monumentally massive. I think this is massive. Larry Fink likes it. I just think that this, World Liberty Financial owns it. Trump owns it. I think that this thing could do some massive damage at $1 billion market cap. Are you kidding me? For one of the hottest real world asset aggregators in the game, sign me up. I love Ondo, man. I love Ondo. This is one of my bigger spot holdings. I think this thing is going to do some massive damage, and I'm here for the ride. I put in what I'm willing to lose, right? In these altcoins, you got to put in what you're willing to lose. If my Ondo goes to zero, it's not going to be like, oh my gosh, I'm looking for a bug to eat off the street floor because I can't afford food. You know, it's not going to be like that, right? Most of my capital is in Bitcoin, baby. The good old BTC, Bitcoin, baby, because it's the only asset that I have convinced myself for certain, all of them, Ethereum, XRP, everything down, are the only asset that I believe will be here 20 to 30 years from now. That I am confident will be here 20 to 30 years from now. Okay, here we go. Ondo, baby, on the daily, getting that nice daily bullish divergence, suggesting that you're going to break this $1.23 region before you come down and break 72 cents. This has been a colossal downturn for Ondo. I'd start looking at playing 200 MA dominoes. Let's get in. Oh, baby. Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh. You guys ever get hyped up like that? Any of those moments like, yes, we're about to break the 200 MA. When you walk in and you left the house and there were dishes piled up everywhere. It was there were bugs crawling around, cockroaches. And then you come in and they're all gone and it's clean. And you know, the magical dish wizard just put everything away. Everything was nice and shiny. The counters were wiped down. It is crazy what happens. I've asked my lady if she's seen this wizard, but she has not. She has not, and actually gets a little frustrated when I bring it up. But I think that's magic, everybody. Crazy. Coming up here to break the 200 SMA on the 2 hour. That's strong. The 3 hour 200 SMA sits up here at about 91 cents. That's a substantial move for Ondo, man. That is no joke. About 3% move. And you have this gap in the VRVP. There is a little bit of sell pressure above you. As you can see, this has served as resistance once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Is this the 5th time? It's like the battering ram, man. The police hitting your door over and over and over again. How many times can you get hit before your door caves in? You know, here we go. So we need to get above that high volume node and come up to the 3 hour 200 SMA. And then you're going to come to the 4, and then you're going to come to the 6, and then the 8, right? And they're all spaced out pretty nicely from one another. So I'd be looking for the turnaround here for Ondo, as I'm looking for that on all of the major altcoins, baby. I'm looking at this. Everything in the top 100, I'm looking for a reversal here. I think these are some of the biggest assets in the game that are going to make some monumental moves. Ondo, baby, the real world asset player. I think this thing is going to be a game changer this cycle, baby, this cycle. The daily bullish divergence, the stochastics are getting a little overbought, but you are getting that curvature here. I'll extend this. You are getting that curvature here to the upside. Looks good to me from a momentum perspective. You need to get above this high volume node, but then the gaps, man, it's like the ball rolling down the hill. The gaps, we are so focused on the gaps here on this channel and why we're really, really successful. Here we go. That gap in the VRVP takes you up to about $1. That looks very, very nice. And going down again to your next trough, you get up here, that satisfies the daily bullish divergence. The daily bullish divergence squeezes out a little further, all the way up to the highest volume node on the chart. Why is this white line on here? All right. Oh, it's the highest volume node. How do I get? Oh, yeah. So the VRVP, you could go. I hate that white line. It gives me an aneurysm attack. So I go to the visibility here, the style, and I say, The point of control is highlighted with a white line right here. I just unchecked that box so I don't have to see that white line. The point of control just represents the area. The point of control represents the area where the most amount of an asset has traded. So that white line will shoot across your screen. I don't need to see that to know that the point of control here for Ondo is down here at about 80 cents. And if you zoom all the way out, you could get a broader perspective. Yeah, about 79 cents is the point of control for Ondo, which was a key support resistance flip. Resistance. Got above support, boom, to the upside. Came back down, serving as support. Can we get that squeeze to the upside? I think that is very, very likely for Ondo. That's Ondo in a nutshell for you, Sin Nasty Kid. Thank you for diving on in. April. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? She wants to look at gold. I know April likes some gold. Let's take a look at gold for April. Why do we look at gold on this channel? Why do we care? Well, Bitcoin is arguably the better version of gold, right? Can't get more from space or anything like that. Gold at the all-time high, baby. Look at this on the weekly. Going all the way back to 1930, I didn't even exist, right? All the way back to 1922. This is crazy. This is one of the coolest charts that you can see in the game because it goes back further than even, I think the S&P, right? Like, it goes back further than 1920, yeah, 2049. I don't even know when the stock market would, that's crazy. But yeah, this has been a immaculate uptrend for gold, and this is the result of us debasing our currency from gold. Now we can print based off of absolutely nothing, and that's why I hold this here, baby. That's why I hold this here every single day. I always remember this promise that the government gave the people in silver, payable on demand. It used to say in gold, payable to the bearer on demand. It doesn't say even in silver anymore. It says nothing there because it's pieces of paper that do absolutely jack squat for you. So this is gold here on the weekly, showing no signs of slowing down. When you talk about a healthy uptrend, this is what it looks like on the weekly. Come back to the 21, back to the 21. Are we going to come back to the 21? I think that could be likely. I will say this for gold. Look at this. We have, we have a bearish divergence here on gold. Look at this swing up in price action here. This is on the weekly, while we have a swing down in we have a swing up on price action, higher high, while we're making a lower high on the RSI. What happened the last time we had this? Where's the last major bearish divergence? We had one right here. We had a bearish divergence on gold right here. Swing up on price action. Well, we had a swing across in the RSI, a slash swing down, and it did say that you were going to break this low here before you broke this high. And you did that. Look at zooming on in. You did that with the wick, did you not? Yeah, you did. Look at that. That bearish divergence did play out here, coming down the tested weekly 200. So bearish divergence, that did play out. Yeah, you could argue that was a double bottom. But that's what happens when you get bearish divergence. You often get a retracement while this RSI starts to reset, and then from there, you could sometimes form hidden bullish divergence, things of that nature. But the bearitive saying that gold's going to come for a little bit of a cool off here, I think that's very likely for gold. We are very overextended. We're a little far from the 21, and even just coming back from the 21 as the RSI trends sideways and we get a break, even if we traded sideways on gold and we formed some kind of a flag here, and then we got that break to the upside where we can see monumental moves for gold, I think gold's going higher. I really do. I don't think gold's showing any signs of slowing down. Anybody that's been a bear on gold has gotten wrecked throughout their entire life because gold's never been in a downtrend. Has gold ever really been in a true downtrend when you look at the weekly? No. I mean, you could argue back here after the 08 financial crisis. Where was that? Yeah, we had downtrend, but that was everything. You had 2011. That was we had 2011 to the downside for gold. That was probably just a key fib retracement, right? But you're still making higher highs, higher lows. You have not made a lower low on gold. Look at that. Higher high, higher low, coming down to the golden pocket. Higher high, higher low, higher high. Are we going to create a higher low? I think so. I think it's likely. It will happen eventually, even if we do get some kind of major blow off top. And then we start coming down here, we'll create a higher low, and then we'll go create higher high and higher low until the first lower low is formed on gold. I think gold goes to the moon, baby. I think gold is on a fast track to do a monumental squeeze to the upside. It's a scarce asset. And you know what I'm really interested in? And I'm just speculating here, but that audit that they're doing of the Fort Knox gold, can you guys imagine if that wasn't all there? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. And if that all wasn't there, yeah, I could see that squeezing a lot harder because that would say, hey, there's a big amount of the supply that we don't have. You know, I don't know, just speculated on there, but I do think Bitcoin's a better version of gold. But it is curious to see how gold is at all-time highs and Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin is not. Bitcoin's trading, you know, under $110,000, which was its high, and gold continues on its tear. And it is an asset where people flock to in uncertainty, and this is definitely an uncertain economic environment. We have tariffs, we have wars, all sorts of, you know, rumors of wars, things of that nature, and tariffs that may get more strict here in the coming weeks. We'll see. It all depends on those macroeconomic indicators, but when the markets hate more than anything, as stated, as shown by the S&P 500 and the crypto market, everyone hates uncertainty. Everyone hates, so they sit in front of the TV screen, what's the next piece of news that's going to move my coin or move my stock? Well, gold doesn't really care. Gold knows. Gold throughout history has shown that this has been one of the best assets to be in during times of uncertainty. As it continues to climb, as things in the world get worse, it's what people flock to. It's what people have always flocked to. Those they're shiny, my precious gold, right? Yeah, during times of uncertainty. And you know what else has been doing immaculately? Silver, baby. I know silver's been going on a tear. Silver, here we go. Out of the inverse shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside for silver on the weekly. Let's see on the daily what we're looking at here. Obviously, we were trying to, this was charted after the fact, but here we are. For silver coming all the way up to the target, hitting the target of that shoulder, head, right shoulder to the upside. Now, what I'm looking for is some kind of divergence. You are getting a little bit of bear div here on the daily, just like gold. It's mirroring gold pretty interestingly. Now, look here. What's crazy to think about is silver is not at its all-time high. Silver is still about 40% away from being at its all-time, a 50% move for silver before it tests its all-time high that was tested back in here in 2011. And that's even more impressive because there's so much more money in the system right now that even when we get back up to this same level up here at $50, it's still not as impressive to me because there's twice as much money in our system right now due to inflation. That's so wild to me that silver has not caught up. With that being said, I love silver, man. I love gold. I love silver. I keep a little here, you know, on my desk, a little silver coin. I love that thing, man. 1923 piece, $1 silver dollar. Bought that at the silver shop with my mother-in-law. But yeah, so I'm super excited to see where gold, silver, commodities like that, you know, plutonium, uranium, whatever you guys invest in. I don't recommend getting those things. Those things will do something to you. They'll make you grow a third nut. But yes, I don't think silver will do that. I hope silver won't do that. I keep it right above my, you know, when I'm scooted in. That's a little too close to the goods, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, silver, gold, looking to move to the upside. That's what I am seeing here. April, that is gold for you here. That is gold for you. Over to the bubbles, we do have a massive mix around the day. It's definitely some redistribution going on here in the market as some altcoins suffer while others, boom, it is very clear. Render, look at Render. We were just talking about Render. We averaged in at Render. When did we get into Render? We got into Render in our box of remembrance, but we got in pretty close to, I think we got in at $3 or so. $3? Yeah, you're anybody who got in with Render down here at that $3 level when we crossed, we started crossing 200 MAs, and that's when we were gone for Render. Look at this. You feel pretty good getting in a Render at $3 now when people are like, oh, it's going back up. Yeah, it feels so good, man, catching bottoms. It feels so good catching bottoms. What this channel was all about, baby, and testing the 4-hour 200 SMA Render showing true strength in the market today, getting a massive squeeze to the upside. I think these AI plays are going to do massive damage. I did get a comment on my video today that kind of moved me a little bit. It said virtuals, man. We called the bottom for virtuals down here at about 59 cents. And we made an immaculate trade on it. It was about up 168%. We got out, right? We got out and we got in at 59 cents here. We called the bottom for virtuals, and this was 10 days ago, and we had a massive, I think we took profits at about 30%. Yeah, we got I think this was the bottom. I think it was. I think that was it for virtuals, everybody. I don't think this thing is coming back down to the prices. Oh, it's going low. There's amount of short interest. Let's see here. Let's zoom on out here. Virtuals protocol. This, if you stare this in the face and say, hey, we're going lower, when you have a giant volume node right here with that gap in the VRVP where you have about a 50% move pending to the upside, That's on spot, not on leverage. That's a 50% runner to the upside for virtuals. Looks hot to me. It looks hot and ready to go for the virtuals protocol. I call the bottom. I called the bottom for virtuals in that video, and I'm sticking by that today. Virtuals is bottom. Boys Crypto says it. Boys Crypto put the stamp on it. The trader stamp. I don't know what my trader stamp is. The trader stamp, the trader stamp, the trader stamp. What do you guys want? But yeah, the trader stamp on it, baby. Virtuals is bottom out of that massive daily bullish divergence. Look at that. You don't see bullish divergence that strong. That's almost a vertical line to the downside. While you have an equal low on the RSI, what do you, oh, that looks like a juicy setup to me. And boom, to the upside. That makes me, hold on, let me see where bounce is at. We didn't get the alert. We did not get the alert. This is why we wait for a full candle body close. We get it close, right? But we didn't get a full candle body close. We didn't there, and then now we're down to the downside for bounce. It is what it is. It is what it is. I understand that sometimes you just got to sit on your hands, and that's one of those times where I need to see a full candle body close. A full candle body close. Can I not spell VIRTUAL? Virtuals protocol. Let me see here on the 5. I'm going to be tracking this one throughout the night, baby. I have to. This looks hot. Look, the gap in the VRV. Look at that buy pressure on that wick. And this is just in the past 4 hours because this candle just opened. The 4 hour and the daily are the same candle right now because they both opened about 4 hours ago, if that makes sense. Right? So yes, that daily bullish divergence saying that you're going to break this, yes, $1.15 region for virtuals before you come down and break this 54-cent level. I think virtuals could do some massive damage. I think virtuals will be one of the coins that returns to the highs of, yes, $5. I'm calling it here on this channel, everybody. $5 will be here for virtuals. I think virtuals could do some massive damage. I see this as an 8 to 10 to 12, and potentially in the event that the AI space gets massive institutional adoption or investments, I think this could be a $20 coin. That represents a 20x from here. But from where we got in, baby, it represents about a 30 to 35x for virtuals. We did add the spot virtuals, baby, to the upside. I'm seeing some massive things come out of this coin. Diving on into the chat. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What's the higher resistance for Bitcoin? So, hey, that's a great question. I appreciate you bringing that up. Bitcoin, baby. So we have to be, based off of this bounce, we did get above the daily 200 SMA. That looks good. I want to close this entire candle body above that. I really do. Bitcoin here on the 4 hour, coming up to test the 4 hour 200 SMA. The big resistance to me is this $94,000, $95,000 level. So you made a higher high. Yeah, you made a lower high, lower low, lower high. You could argue that that was a higher low, but we broke to the downside. So you have a lower low. You need to make at some point here a higher high, right? And you could argue that that was it. But you need to start making a higher high. I think you need to break this $95,000 region. Why do I care about this? I'd even bring this down a little bit. This area right here that has served as key support for Bitcoin is going to be the difference between whether we enter a bear market or not. Why? Because, flip this upside down. Does this not look good to you? You'd be like, oh, we're going to long this, baby. We're above the 200 MA, retesting the 4. It looks good. It looks good. And the odds of seeing these prices again are low unless what? You break above this. When you come down here right now, it's a support resistance flip. Resistance, or support. And you fell through. It served as resistance twice. It served as resistance twice here on the 4 hour. Is it going to serve as resistance again and then solidify that as a support resistance flip before reverting us to the downside? It could happen, and it lines up. It lines up with some fib pulls here. It really does. From the swing high to the low. I mean, yeah, it really does line up with some fib pulls. So I really have to exercise as bullish as I am on Bitcoin right now, getting above the daily 200. I'm super excited. I think a short-term move is coming up to at least test that level here at about $92,000. There will be, I'm putting the trader stamp on there. There's going to be massive resistance in this entire zone. Why? Well, it'll be a support resistance flip, right? It likely will serve as resistance. And right there, oh weird, how it just starts curving up the VRVP. It's going to be harder. That ball is going to have a tough time rolling up the hill. Do you guys not agree? That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin here. And if we get over that that trough at about 96, 97, bull market's back on. And you're likely going to see higher prices for Bitcoin. If we get back above this and flip it to support, all-time highs are just a matter of time, and then we're going back to blue skies breakout times. It's going to take some time. This is the daily chart. I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. And if you see a candle like this, if you see a massive green candle like this, some kind of news candle, ignore it as FUD. Every time we've seen some massive, where are some other ones? We saw a massive one, dump. A massive one, dump. These were all strategic reserve announcements. Oh, strategic reserve. Oh, tariffs the next day. That was a disgusting liquidity grab event. What a disaster. But yes, this is the area where I see as the biggest overhead resistance. The all-time high, I don't care. I don't think anything is going to happen around the all-time high region. I think it is all going to happen around here in this VRVP zone where the most amount of Bitcoin is exchanged. And remember when we were trading here on the stream, we were talking about it. We were saying, wow, this is boring. I wish something would happen. And then, the bearish gods came in and said, hey, well, I'll take care of you. Yes, this high volume node is the key area for Bitcoin to get back above. This support resistance flip, you could argue that it's anywhere in here. Support, 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 right? You could say this was a broken pattern, double bottom, got its back up above. Or you could say that this was a support the entire time. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. That's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin. And what I don't want to see is any kind of, we've been pulling fibs the entire time here. Even with this wick right here, came right up to the 786, did it not? Right up to the 786 on this bullish news and rejection to the downside. So what are we doing now? Well, from the swing low to the high, where's the 786? The 786 is coming up. It is. It's a reality we have to acknowledge. Between the 87 and 91,000, we are not out of the water yet, ladies and gentlemen. These are all highly probable areas for the price to revert. Even though there's a gap in the VRVP, you could argue that these are all, we're just 618, 786 and all the way down. All the way down. And that could be a possibility. We have a high volume node here. We have a 618, 786 retracement coming up. You have the we have previous support resistance flip. That's what I'm looking at, man. That's the next resistance zone for Bitcoin. Thank you for the question. That's how I view it. And again, anything could happen. This is trading, but that's what I'm looking at. MetaDrip for Sin Nasty Kid. Actually, I haven't looked at it since we looked at it last, man. How's it doing? MetaDrip, baby. MetaDrip. Oh yeah, out of that double bottom, baby. Look at that. Going to the moon here for MetaDrip, even just happening within the past few hours. We looked at that double bottom. I drew this line here. I don't even remember what I drew this line for. Yeah, I was saying, hey, you have to bounce here. You have to. And you're getting above the 2 hour 200 SMA, baby. That looks good. You got above the 1. You're coming to test the 2. You get above the 2. You close the whole candle body above here, you're likely to come and test the 3. And look what's cool about this. The 3 has just been born. The 3 has just been born. Where's the 4? The 4 is not even in existence yet, right? It may be on Dex Screener. But once you get, the beauty of this is because of the dump on MetaDrip. Let's see, where's the 3 hour 200 SMA? You break the 2 hour, you're likely to come up and test the 3 hour. That's going to be still from where we are. Even though we had a giant green candle, another 45% move for MetaDrip. Hey, that looks juicy, man. That looks juicy. Out of this support holding, it looks good. It looks good. So what would I look for here for MetaDrip? I would be looking for a move to the upside. You had a very, very nice double bottom. You could even, I would say Adam and Eve, but now, yeah, that candle just closed just right now, 10 seconds ago. So I would pay attention to this 2 hour candle. You got the 1 hour closure above the 2 hour SMA, the 1 hour SMA. The 21's curving with you. I'd be looking for some flags. And the chart's not really pretty on this asset just because of the low market cap. There's not as much trading, right? It's only about $1 million market cap. Probably more than that now, man. It's probably 1.2, 1.3, is it not? But yeah, it looks good for MetaDrip, man. I see this moving to the upside out of that double bottom. Honestly, you could call it a triple bottom, right? To the upside. Now, I would caution you here. You could get this. We're not out of the woods yet. You could get something like this. Could get the shoulder head, and you could get another right shoulder that'll push you out to the upside if you get a massive squeeze up here and a potential pullback. From that, if you did make a higher high, here, I would look at a fib pull. Right? Say you made a higher high from this swing low to wherever your high is. I would look at getting into the 618 or the 786 for the shoulder, head right shoulder to the upside. That would be my trading strategy for MetaDrip, man. Hey, shout out to you, dude. Shout out to you. I know MetaDrip, man, it's been on your radar and you're getting those gains today. You're getting those massive gains today. What is it up today? That in the last 2 days, this thing has been on a tear. This is up massively in the last 2 days, even though, pretty small candles, like comparatively, just because of the size of the chart. An 80% move in 2 days? Congratulations, man. In less than 2 days, in 24 hours, in about 30 hours, an 80% move. Shout out to you, man. That is a massive move. Yeah, hey, thank you for jumping on in, JJ. I'm about to get heading out here too. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Hey, much love, man, much love. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to head out too. Hey, it's been about an hour and a half. We've been streaming here on the live. Thank you. We dived on in. We hit some live. We did some trading live. We did a little bit of altcoin analysis. We looked at the boobles and everything, baby. We are in it to win it today. Let's see how the market forms up overnight leading into the New York Open. I will be up. Keep tracking with me over here on X at Boys Crypto 102. We go through every single thing I do, every single thing. Boom, 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 boom. The entire way down, baby. The entire way down. Every trade that's made on this account, we put out here. I put take profits, I put stop losses, and it's not financial advice. Nothing I say on this channel is financial advice, but at least you get to see what I'm doing, baby. And you can be like, wow, Boys, you got wrecked. Boys Crypto, you got wrecked on that trade. Or wow, Boys Crypto, that was an amazing trade. You legend. That's crazy. Yeah, we are building on here. This I think like 2 weeks ago we were at like 20 followers or so. Now we're at 52. Hey, shout out to you guys for jumping on in and following me. I appreciate it. And eventually we're gonna get a Discord going, and we're gonna get all this stuff posted up in the Discord. I'm literally posting every what feels like 20 minutes. But yeah, 16 hours, 14 hours, 30 hours. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. This is what I do. This is what I love to do, and this is what I do for a living. So shout out to you guys for being here and being with me and tracking with me along this journey. We're about double this account in about 40 days, and we're gonna do it over and over and over and over again, baby, in front of you guys here on the live every single night. Thank you for being some of my earliest supporters. You guys are absolutely awesome. Make sure to smash that like button before you hop on out of here. Much love to everybody tonight. I will see you guys tomorrow. And until next time, Boys Crypto, stand by for the Ethereum video. Until next time, Boys Crypto is out, baby. We are out. Enjoy your night, everybody. Rest up. Big week ahead.